Okay, not a whole lot going on tonight. I got a sack of pennies. It says 2013, but those are filthy. Huh. Okay, it's probably better. Yeah. Is that clear enough? Yeah, that'd be fine. So I got trying to go through a bag, and if you guys have something to talk about or a subject you'd like to hear expounded upon, yeah, we can, yakety yak. Okay, where's the scope? Let's see if everything works. Is that ready? Yeah, okay, that looks good. All right, zoom. Yep, there's the fiber. Let's get into it, see what's going on. Because I got nothing but time. What's this say? Huh. Hey, when you see this as the note in a sack of pennies, what do you make of it? Looks like you got 12 so far. I don't know what the hell the 12 means. This is the best I can do for putting notes in bags. I don't think these are all 2013s. Hey, Vern, how are you? Nah, there's everything in here. Okay. I don't know what it is. Just a sack of pennies. What do you figure about 10 bucks worth probably? Let's see. Here's the scope. We'll just look at them. If you get a subject, I'll try to follow along on chat. See if I can pick up on what you're asking or what you're hoping to hear about or discuss, or put your own 2 cents in. I'm okay with that. That's filthy. I'm not even gonna look at that. That's too far gone. Yeah, I got a new coffee can, so I may as well. Did I like it, dude? That was the shit. I've been working on this, but I'm taking it easy. The peppers, those were freaking beautiful. We opened it up in a video earlier today. Yep. So I got this new coffee. Uh, well, it's plastic, a coffee tub. I figured, okay, I'll go through some of these pennies and fill it up. Yep, that'll go back to the bank. I'll keep the tub, of course. Can't have too many buckets, I can tell you that, but those are beautiful. Looks like you put some sugar in there when you pickle them up, and you hot packed them. Dude, they're nice. I was eating them raw right here live. Then I made a freaking sandwich and put some of those in. I'm going to step it up to a burger next because I think that's going to be a winner. That'll work on all sorts of things. That's my kind of eating right there. Yep. Geez, I'd have been good with just the seeds. I haven't pickled peppers yet. I pickled okra. I did cauliflower. I've done cucumbers. Those are pretty good, but I let the cukes get too long, so they were, big and fat, and of course the centers get kind of soft, and it turned out to be cucumber rings by the time I was done with the darn things. But I'll definitely get some, jalapenos going. Yeah, those are splendid. I'm thinking they'd be pretty darn good on a burger. Mmm. So I take, let's see, pumpernickel bread, right? The big, long, fat loaves there, and slice it. And butter it up. Then slather it up with Parmesan cheese real good on the buttered side. Then I grill it, like a grilled cheese, but with the Parmesan cheese and butter down. All right. This is split plating all over this one, by the way. Nothing up. What's that? What's the date on this? 90? Not a good candidate for that. Not a good candidate for a class 9. So I got this here I want to look at. Okay, so I take the pumpernickel bread, right, and grill it with Parmesan cheese. So the Parmesan gets grilled. And I got Swiss cheese, right? Usually I have like jack cheese or some other, whatever cheeses I got, a couple of them. Then like sandwich meat, whatever it is. Sometimes hamburger. Today it was ham. Throw an egg in there, some tomato, slice of tomato. I like a good tomato, and those jalapenos all over. So the sandwich is like this big, ends up being that thick. Like a pound of mayonnaise on there. It's real good. Let's see. I just found a loop. I swear it. I wonder what happened to that. Get in there. There's like 6 loops on the desk. I can never find one. This is so unfair. Well, when you need some more, let me know. Oh man, those are good. I told people to contact you if they needed some. So brace yourself. Yeah, that's regular food to me. Some people wouldn't touch that sort of thing. That's my favorite sort of thing. People have sent me all kinds of foods. Nah, it's just a little plating blisters, all that is. A little discoloration. That's normal. Yup. They send jerky, Slim Jims, candy, cookies. And now I got jam. And now I got pickled peppers on the list. They're hot. Dude, they're plenty hot. When you do the peppers, some people will take the seeds out and it'll be a lot more mild. But really, put the seeds in there. That's what gives them character, you know. There's Linda. Linda, we're just talking. If you have a subject that you'd like to talk about, give them my email address. I'm pretty sure I have it somewhere. There we go. So I got a sack of pennies we're going to look at in the meantime. Yeah, those are plenty good. Yep. A lot of people don't like other people's cooking. Food is such a touchy subject. Really, have you noticed how everybody on the internet has been so touchy? I don't know, is it just the past few weeks, or has it always been like this? I haven't been paying that much attention. I really should. They're so darn touchy. Oh, they snap at you. I suppose I'm just as guilty as anybody else. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nothing on this. But food in particular, nobody wants to try anything new. My brother's like that. He just, what is it? Oh, you never had it before. I don't want it. Why not? You might like it. I got him to try 2 things in his life. Maybe 1. I got him to try brie cheese years ago, and he likes that. And I don't know if it was me or probably his wife got him to try avocados, and he's okay with those. But anything else, right? Dude, it's like pulling teeth. They don't want to try. Just try it. Everything was new at one point, but name 3 foods you just don't want to eat. And it'll include probably eggplant, broccoli, and spinach, which 2 of those I got no problem with. Eggplant never did do it to me, but I can tolerate it in smaller amounts. You know, if you're having like an eggplant festival, yeah, make it an eggplant or, you know, bring your own dish. Eggplant potluck. I think I'll call in sick on that one. Not a whole lot of that was going on, but people that want to try new things. Dude, I try it all, right? I'm up at the supermarket. I see a can of Hearts of Palm. I think, what the heck is that? Throw it in the cart, try it out, see what it is. Well, that'd be a good substitute for artichoke hearts. I could make a good sauce with them. Some cream, some sherry, garlic. Maybe throw in some roasted red pepper in there. I don't know. Would you go with capers? You know, give it a little spirit? Nah, I think the Hearts of Palm are kind of brine because they're packed in a brine. What's going on here? Nothing? Kidney. Okay, I'm not one for innards a lot. Right. Yeah. Although heart, liver, you know, from deer, anything from a deer, but probably not the kidney. And never done the oysters, those mountain oysters. No, that's just a spot. That's a water spot on his eye. Throw that one out. Is that a greaser? No, it looks kind of flat. All right. One girl, she come over. She was in, this was neat. Back at the apartments, the girl in number 8, right, she moved in to her mother's house. And then I bought a house, which was 2 doors down from my mother. Then the guy in 36, his girlfriend stayed with him for a while. She was real nice. She brought over some chitlins. which is like a cow's stomach or some darts. It was pretty good. And I think I decided I liked it a little more well done. But it was, okay. Kidney, I might not try that one. Miss India. Oh, it's Miss Linda. Yeah, and I think we'll stay away from the poached pancreas or lung casserole. But the meaty parts, gizzard, liver. I got some chicken livers in the fridge right now. Ain't nothing wrong with chicken livers. What do you got here? Looks like something right there. Odd place for it. There you go. This is what I'm talking about for those odd cracks. Where's my... there they are. Breaded oysters. Yeah, but not breaded mountain oysters. That's a different thing altogether. Seafood, I've tried just about everything. Good Lord. Sea cucumber is okay, but it's kind of rubbery. There we go. There's a die crack in an odd location. Chip at the top, and it comes down to right about here. Yeah, I'll save that one out. I want to look at that. What's that right there on his knee? Nothing. All right. But people don't want to try new foods. Breaded oysters? Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with those. Let's see. Here's a piece of paper. Nothing. Man, fried clams. I grew up on them things. I like the stomachy ones. I like the ones with the bellies. That's a better part. Down here, they like the cherry stone oysters because they got tiny little bellies. Back in Maine, you get them. They're like quahogs. They're big, long necks. They call them. What's the date on that? 1990. I like the stomachs. They're tastier. They got a bite to them. The necks are just rubber. That's all it is. There's a spot. We'll stuck it right in here. People don't want to try new foods. Try it. You might like it. Geez, my brother tried cheese 30 years ago, and he still gets it all the time. He likes it. He probably gains 2 pounds a week just from the cheese. Try the cheese. It's all good. Do you like soft cheese? I'm not a big fan of cheddar. Okay, it's okay in some, situations. What's the date on that? 90. Why do we all have all these 90s on a bag marked 2013? Yeah, must have been is that the only thing written on it? That's copper. What you got there? What you got there? And I got a little damage there between the B and the E. Yeah, zinc rod above the E. Try that new stuff. You never know what you might like. Man, I like a slice of avocado. Well, a bunch of slices of avocado on a hamburger. I'm not a big fan of sweetbreads, Vern. That one in cow tongue, I don't think I could taste something that's tasting me back. Well, a lot of it is what you're raised on, right? I mean, my father, he was a hunter. He'd be out there hunting up some grub, shooting some food. He'd come home with a deer. He'd eat the most of it. He didn't eat the kidneys. He was brought up, they didn't eat that thing, I guess. Well, we ate the liver, we ate the heart. And there was nothing wrong with that. You don't see a thing on this. But I mean like regular foods. Vegetables. I haven't tried durian, but I hear it's pretty stinky. But if you get past the smell, it's supposed to be pretty good. I try, all kinds of vegetables. My brother, we're out there, we're at the supermarket and stuff for a barbecue. I said, no, get them Roma tomatoes for your hamburger. They taste better. Oh, I don't like those. What don't you like about them? I don't know. You've never tried them. What the hell? You're never going to learn what you like if you don't try it. If you don't like it, you're just going to spit it out on the floor. Pfft. I'm going to kill you. That looks like a clash mark right there. That's a good spot for it. Anything over here? We got polish marks. A lot of times they do that when they have a clash here and there. Anything in the field here? Well, they got the rest of the clash cleaned up real good. I don't see a thing. Yeah. Pickled peppers? Yeah. Eat them, man. It's good. You go to Subway, right? They got them right there in the cold table. You want peppers? No. My brother gets his with lettuce, tomato, and onion, and that's it. I said, give me everything. Turns out I like a lot of olives. I like beef tongue, too. You can have my share. You know, you want to eat it? Hey, go right ahead. I've seen people eat some crazy stuff. We got this one guy I used to work with him, a Vion. Now, Vion was he was a true independent spirit, let me tell you. He had no problem picking up some roadkill and taking that home. And yeah, he'd probably clean it up and eat it. You know, what could be saved. He comes in one day, he's got nothing but chicken feet. I said, dude, there's nothing on them eggs. Oh, they're good. He gets in there and he just, sucking on them, whatever's on there, he's getting it. I mean, it just seems like a lot of work, really. Like crawfish are pretty good, but it's so much work. Getting in the little claws. Lobster's a lot of work, but it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to try it. Geez, I like berries. That's one thing I like always is berries. I tried about every berry there is. Lingonberries, elderberries, loganberries, serviceberries, gooseberries, cranberries, blueberries, raspberries, golden raspberries, blackberries. That's probably my favorite is blackberries. Peppers on a pizza? Load it up, man. Load it. Yeah, those would be good on a pizza. Up in Maine, we got these things called tea berries. And we got these little sweet pear and sugar plums, and they're pretty good. I don't think the sugar plums are the same ones they talk about in the Christmas Carol. Snails you don't like? You haven't had them prepared right? Yeah. Snails is good eating. They could be a little tough if they've been sitting out, so they're drying up, or if they're overdone because they get tighter and tighter. But it's not these slugs that you get, you're out on the lawn and you're barefoot and you step on one. It's not that. Yeah, it's a different kind of snail, and they're pretty good when they're done right. Let's look at the bottom floor of that. I get a lot of polishing marks there. Yeah, them's polishing marks. Too bad, huh? Sniles. Berry manilow. Well, that's not food. Florida crabs are good too. They got these places where the crabs all of a sudden just come inland, right? They're going to do something inland. I don't know if they're going to breed or what. I suppose. God, they're having some kind of crab march. That's a damn weird looking color. Man, I'm thinking, get out the canning jar and put some of them up. Hell, they're coming to you. They were rubbery, probably overdone. Try them again. Yeah. And say, hey, man, don't cook them quite as much. I mean, they're going to be thoroughly done, or they get a little slippery, shall we say. But garlic and butter, salt and pepper, that's all you really need on those things. All right, anything going on the top? Let's give that a look. Nah, perfectly normal. Yeah. Man, try some new stuff here and there. Salami, right? What do you like better, the Genoa or the hard salami? Then you get the liverwurst, the brockwurst, knockwurst, all the worst. For better, for worse. That's pretty bad right there. Then you got prosciutto. That's freaking good stuff. You have some slugs. Pour beer in a small bowel. In a small bowl. And then give in that beer and die. Poor little fellas. I'd be tempted too, but my beer drinking days are long over. I do miss my youth. How do you get back? Abalone. Abalone. Like chewing on a rubber tire. I imagine so. Yeah, if you get the real quahogs, right? It's like these giant clams. They're just vulcanized, right? They're overdone. They turn into this thing you're gonna bite and bite and well, the flavor's okay. It's kind of like chewing tobacco. It's like chewing quahog. Yeah. But geez, I've done oysters on the half shell, and they're pretty good. There's some people I know that just, it's the greatest thing of all time. It's okay. I'll eat a few. They're okay. Get some Tabasco, some lemon, cracker. They just scoop them up, said, they get really funny about it. Zankrot. I mean, there's some stuff I like, but I don't get I don't swoon. Head cheese. I don't think I've tried head cheese. Heard about it. Seen it. Looks kind of fatty, like a gelatin kind of thing going on. Yeah, I'd try it. I might not try a whole lot of it. What the? Oh, we're up looking. Yep. Tonight it's you pick the subject, because I'm not in a creative mood, but I'm in a talkative mood. And the subject of food, well, came up with the peppers, which were freaking good, by the way. And they'll last me a couple of months, perhaps. I don't think see them last. Hopefully they'll last until I get some more up, because I'm going to miss them if they go. And we've been talking about food. Me, I like spinach. I like broccoli. Okay, eggplant and some innards. Body parts that I haven't heard of. Yeah. Souse. What is souse? Souse? Is that like fried souse, or a cup of souse, or a scoop of souse? I don't even know how I would serve that. Souse. I'd have to look that up. What by God is souse? Have we got any souse in the house? It's my invisible spouse. Well, these are crap jobs here. Where did I get all the crappy pennies? I don't know. It was like 3 boxes down in the pile. Ooh, I found a bunch of copper rounds too. Yes, souse is good, but we don't know what it is yet. Is it a beverage, a dessert, a body part? Is it like the female equivalent of Rocky Mountain oysters? You have a slice of souse. Where they got that stuff up in Pennsylvania? They got that, oh, I don't know. It's like Spam and cornmeal mixed together. Why am I thinking spackle? They got a name for it. I was reading about that the other day. I'm thinking, yeah, I'd try that. Scrapple. The hell, I'd try that. Oh, I got to talking about berries. Some of them berries are just freaking beautiful. I mean beautiful, but they're few and far between. Those little tea berries, for example. That's how we always call them, is tea berries. I mean, you get like 2 berries, maybe 4 berries on a plant. The plant is this big, has 4 leaves, and that's it. Grows in the woods. Grows with very little sunshine, which is why it's such a small, unproductive plant. And it's mostly seed, right? And it's got a gentle, subtle flavor. Ah, blisters, zinc blisters, right there between the R and the T, more below. Yeah. So it's a linear plating bubble right there between the RT. It's made from hog head meat. I mean like jowls and shit? Or they get in there and scrape the insides. I mean, you might not want to get too far into that head. You get them laughing sickness diseases. You start acting like a zombie. Brains, brains, brains. I love you, Jenny. That's why I want you to let me eat your brains. That's a line in one of those zombie movies. It's like Dawn of the Living Dead or something. Wow. Bad acting, bad plot, bad effects. Great movie. One of the greats. And I have scrapple in the freezer. Yeah, they got scrapple fries now. And scrapple sliced up like a French fry, and I guess they deep fry the darn thing. That was supposed to be good for you. Yep. But down here they got sweet potato fries, and they're pretty yummy. They take forever to cook. So I learned the trick is you parboil them, and then life is a whole lot easier. And they're real good. I think it's boiled out. Okay, it's scraps, pork scraps and fat and corn meal and all blended together, kind of, and they call it scrapple. So it's kind of like Spam, I suppose, with cornmeal in it. It sounds pretty safe. Most of the people in Pennsylvania are pretty normal, so we could try it. Do you ever sleep? Not since the accident. Yep. This guy asked me if I ever sleep, and he's on every night with me. Yeah, we're looking at this here sack of 2013s. Ain't found a thing yet, including a 2013. Enjoy your food. Hey, Linda, you stay groovy, okay? Well, we're going to poke around and see what we can find, if we can find anything. It's real good, sure. All right. So this is a 1990. And if you want to know what the Wham reverse looks like, it looks like this. So 89, 90, 91, and 92 have the Wham as the normal design on the reverse. If you can find it, that this design on the back, right, with that FG and that space on an 88, but the 88 has that space too. So really the only noticeable difference is going to be that G, where you get a little crossbar and a little tail. And kind of a little tiny knob on the end of the G, and the G doesn't quite come as far over. And it's more of a curl, not as tall. So it's all about the G on those 88s. Those are good money. That's like a $20 coin. There you go. That's a normal FG for a 90. Yep, weak strike. That's where the letters go. They go into the vest over here. Gleason says, I live in a town that is the sweet potato capital of the USA. For real. Steel plant company. They grow them things everywhere. Around here we got potatoes. They make potato chips. There's some watermelon places, but the watermelons they do down south. Geez, they take these old school buses. They chop, from the windows up, take it right off, get rid of the seats, and they just fill them things with watermelons. Dude, there's guys out there, they just pick and they're chucking them watermelons, just chucking them like baseballs. I don't know what you get for a busload of watermelons, but man, if you're good at chucking watermelons, that's got to be some brutal hard work. I'll send you some seeds later on. Man, we'll get some seeds out of them and send them back around. Got to form a seed club. See who's got what and just spread them around. All right, let's clean this off. Okay, I gotta get the styrofoam out of that coffee jug and then I'll start filling it up. Right now I'm filling up the other coffee jug. I got 3 more around the corner of the desk. I'm gonna have to spend some time rolling some pennies at some point. Now sweet potatoes and eat. Take a sweet potato, right? You get it kind of wet. Just let it soak up some water for a day or two, right? You don't leave it in much longer because it's gonna get funky. It'll start doing some weird shit. Anyway, it's gonna start sending out these shoots. Make it about a foot long. Start putting out their own roots. Pull it off, put it in the ground. It's going to keep on sending out shoots. And when they get long enough, you keep on, growing your own garden that way. One sweet potato, you get a dozen shoots off of there. $5,000 a bus load? That's a lot of watermelon, though. That's a lot of chucking. You need a team of guys to throw some watermelons around. But the way I've seen them throw them watermelon, dude, they're doing, a bus a day. Yep. Let's see what else I grow around here. The big thing around here, well, besides hay, which is the most popular crop in the world, is pine trees. What you got there? Plating blister. Now we got 2 things that grow really well around here. Hay and pine trees. Well, the pine trees, I put out these pine needles. And these guys go in doing pine straw. Which is they rake up all the pine needles and they're going to bale them. Load them in a truck. And they mulch golf courses and stuff. Because it really, it clings, it sticks together. Makes a good landscape. Get a nice thick coverage on there. Doesn't blow around so good and takes forever to decompose. So they use it for a mulch. Yeah, that's a goner. And they've been using it more in some of these housing developments, right? Because hey, you set it and you forget it for years. And that's dye wear on there. And it looks great when you move in. It'll get darker and duller over the course of a few years, but well, you just get yourself another bale, spread it around, or have it spread. Typically, the people that have pine straw mulch have it spread. And the pine trees, these are southern pines. They're quick to grow, not particularly big. The wood is not all that great. It mildews easily. It's got this resin in there that it's real sticky. And when it dries, it becomes, real fire hazard. So it's not that great of a building material. But boy, it's got great qualities for making paper. So we gotta We got pulp mills, paper mills, and toilet paper places. GP makes toilet paper. Rayonier makes pulp. Rock 10, what do they make? I don't know what they make. Probably cardboard. We got PCA up in Clientville. They make boxes. I don't know what they put in the boxes, but they make boxes. So that's a corrugated spot. So they probably make beer boxes or something. And let's see, down in Perry, I don't know what the hell they make. It's a paper mill. We worked on the line, worked on some of the tanks over there. And flammable, yeah, that's Southern Pines flammable. So across the street here is 77 acres, where it was when I moved in. And I look at the height of thinking, they're going to harvest that sometime soon. A couple, 3 years ago they did. And in 3 days, couple of machines mowed down 77 acres of pine trees. And they were gone within a week. Pine sap. Well, you take the tree, and they got these machines that chew it up. I mean, quick. They load up, several trees, 30-foot logs, throw them right in. Nothing left. It's all chewed up. And they'll grind it and grind it and grind it down. That's a little MD or something on the bottom, nothing there. And they start treating it all these different ways. And they get stuff out of there. You get your green liquor, your white liquor, your black liquor. All right, they're going to extract turpentine out of there. God knows what else. And the process, it's huge. I've never seen a small paper mill. Perry, is it Perry? It's an old plant. Which one's really old? No, I think it was the Rayonier plant. That's the old one, because they got rivets. You get the beams and the structures, and they get rivets in them. Modern manufacturing, they're bolted, but this plant's riveted together. So this is, before 1950s it was built. And they change the process. Every now and then we'll demolish a building. But you get a lot of acids in there, so there's always something to do for a company like I was working for. Pine sap, easy with a ferro rod. Yeah, they make paper out of it. Now here's a shiner. Do you see that? That's crap. We ain't found a thing yet. No, we got that one. We got a die crack is what we found. What a boring sack. Well, if there's one thing you learn from these late night coin hunts, there ain't a whole lot in these bags. Yep. But we look at them anyway. Every now and then you find one worth a few bucks. What are you going to do? Watch Oprah reruns? Dukes of Hazzard reruns? And get you something to do, keeps you off the street, helps you burn those calories. Implode. No, we never imploded them. We deal mostly with the steel tacks because of the lining that's in there, right? It's brick or acid or abrasion resistant linings and coatings. So we go in and rip out the brick, because then you can separate the brick. And sometimes if it's a contaminant in there, you got to send that off to, be segregated in a landfill. But the steel, they got these machines come in, looks like a giant lobster claw. I mean, these claws just grab steel and rip and just crush it, split it. It eats these buildings. I've seen 3-4 story towers come down, in a day. I was over there one day. what the hell were they doing? They were taking the old door plant down. That's DORR. They didn't make doors. And they had an excavator with a steel claw chewer making bites. They're going to separate the metal, however, it didn't matter. But they just had to rip it apart. Well, something went wrong, and that thing collapsed. You ever see a steel building collapse? Girders, I-beams, that kind of thing. They don't fall straight down. No, it's not how these things fall. They got loads on them, uneven loads. Right? They're stuck together in different ways. They got cross beams. The idea that a steel building would ever drop straight down is ludicrous. You'd have to demolish. You'd have to set, explosive charges for that to happen. Anyway, it took about a minute and a half for this 4-story building to come down. And geez, it put up all this smoke, but you heard it start like a freight train. And one piece after another, and just, this one particular section came down. The guy barely got out of there alive, but he made it. Nobody got hurt. What's up there? Nothing. And one piece just kept pulling more pieces down until finally this roaring stopped, and the dust just spread and settled down. But what a crashing noise. They tip, they sway, they try to get away. Yeah, it was a real treasure. That was a lot of fun to watch. We were working on what the hell was it? A 54% tank. There was a settling tank or an aging tank. So you had all this built up material inside that had to come outside. So it's effectively gypsophosphate sediment that had been building up for probably, I don't know, 10 years. We had to blast our way in with water jets, right? And we had to cut a hole in the top to blast everything over the manway, right? You can't just blast a tunnel in and work through there, because if there's something above your head that's going to come down, we ain't going in there. We ain't sending nobody in there. So they blasted it to get the water guys. Pressure hoses, 20,000 psi. Well, they're a little expensive, those things. They make a hell of a noise. And we had a crew, guys with shovels and jackhammers, and just a sloppy mess. It took about 2 weeks. It wasn't that big of a tank. It was hot. I hated it. We got through it, and the pay was pretty good. Because you can't hate the pay. Was that something? No. Coffee break. Greetings, Professor and fellow students of Coins 300. Oh, well, anyway, if you guys have a topic you'd like to talk about, besides just me rambling, I'm all ears. I can offer up my 2 cents. Here's one of them now. Not many copper cents in this batch. What I get, 13%? I did a census 3-4 years ago to see, how many coins are in this of each grade, or not of each grade, of each date. And I think it was like 13% copper. So they've been making zinc cents for quite a while. They're making plenty of zinc cents, and the copper is getting diluted, is what's happening. I mean, they're not really going away. Maybe you're losing 1% per year, but they're making so many more of these zincs that the population of copper pennies is just getting crowded out. Well, you'll never make money if you save your pennies for copper. I've explained that before. Some people think it's a great idea. Well, how many pennies would you have to make, would you have to double your money and make it worthwhile? Well, it's a lot. What are you going to make, $1? $10? $100? $1,000? You'd have to sit on $1,000 worth of pennies. And honestly, you would do better to cycle that money, right? Take the copper pennies back to the bank, get another box of pennies, and pick out the wheats. You would make more money from picking out the wheats and cycling those funds than you would ever make. Is that a crack? Yep, there's a crack. We'll keep that one. It's pretty minor. Yeah, you make more just from the wheats, and they'd be shitbaggers too, than you ever will on copper, because there is no demand for copper to create another refinery. Let's look at that eyeball. And existing refineries are running about 70% capacity with no particular demand to drive it higher. So why would anybody buy the damn copper? Plus the fact that it's illegal anyway. Now, if you did make it legal to recycle the pennies, they're only 95% copper, right? Some are 5% zinc, and some are 3% zinc with 2% tin. Well, a lot of people don't know this. They'll be pulling all the pennies up and running in there with zinc pennies, thinking, I'm going to make a pile of money. Well, what's going to happen? The recycle plant's going to say, no, man, we don't take no pennies no more because this is bullshit. Okay, so maybe some people get some Rydell machines and they're able to sort it and get the recycle guy to believe them. And the recycle guy can, sample some and make sure he's not getting ripped up. But boy, the incentive is still there just to sneak in some zincs. All right, we got split plating on the D. They were no longer repunched from 1990, so it's not a repunchment mark. Impossible. Not going to happen. They're added to the master die. Okay, they are from 82 and back. No, midway in 82. So only some of the 82s. Well, these guys that would be, the potential market, they don't want 82s that are zinc. They don't want zincs in there. But the cost of separating the copper from the tin and zinc, it's excessive. It's actually less. It takes less energy to refine 0.5% ore than to separate the metal in the pennies. So no matter what, it's still more economical to dig this stuff out of the ground and process a ton of ore to get, let's see, 5 pounds of copper. Thank God I brought them donuts. The bank wrapped rules from a bank no longer around here, and over 30 years they are. Okay, I missed something there. I got 3 $10 boxes of pennies. That's the way they used to be, is $10 boxes. That's what I grew up with. They were handy boxes. You could always stack them up, store them. They were durable. They were made well. It was a good box. Nowadays, you pay like $4 for a box of that quality. They don't make the boxes the way they used to. The zinc is a self-deteriorating. Yeah, it is. Those things would be gone in 50 years. A shining zinc from this year would be a treat. What are these? 90? These are 30 years old. I mean, see, okay, maybe 100 years will be gone. But you'll find these are just crappers. Well, you see me, I grab one up here, I put it under there, it's got shit on it, scraped up. Just throw it aside, because it'll never be worth a thing. But some folks are convinced that their copper coins one day is going to make them a fortune. Well, if you want to make $1,000 and double your money, well, you'd have to have $1,000 worth of pennies. Seriously, you could do more with that $1,000 invested in more rolls of other pennies and just pick out the wheats and the Canadians. You can invest in $50 and find the silver, even if it's one in every 3 boxes. 40%er, 3%er in 4 boxes. You would get a better return. See this? We got an over-polished die. Look, he's got a split between his shoulder and the front of his vest. Let's look at his ear. Yeah, kind of flat, not too bad. His neck is mighty thin. Well, no value, no premium. Crud on it. Crud on this one. That one's filthy. This one's got crud on it. But they cling to the hope, and these folks, they insist that they're going to do something. All right, man. Whatever you like. People have been pulling these coppers out for 20 years. Ain't nobody made a dime off them. You can sell $50 worth of copper pennies on eBay and maybe make a $5 bill. Maybe. They move slow. That's a lot of work for a $5 bill, and the governments want to keep a piece of that action. It's a lot of lifting, a lot of picking through. You can spend a couple $100 to get the machine that'll sort them for you. Hopefully it'll last long enough. You brought them donuts the next day. Yeah, 100,000 pennies. Then, you're tripping over it. I've seen pictures of storage units full of pennies. I've seen trucks already loaded with pallets of pennies waiting to go somewhere. All right. Perhaps it might be worth it for someone to pick through, but honestly, if you're holding that much stock in inventory waiting to be picked through, good Lord, you'd do better to stick that in a bank account growing at 2% or 1%. Hey, Victoria. Because it's going to take you 10 years to get through that bag. And you do better just to pick up local boxes. Like we do here. That's a hard racket to earn $1 in. There are better ways. There are more productive ways. I was in one of the Facebook groups, and this guy's on there in one of these groups. He says, hey, does anybody pick out their damaged coins and save them? I do. I just love them. So I replied, saving lint would only be slightly less productive. People go through these rolls, and honestly, they don't know what to look for. They have no clue. They know they can find some things in there that's worth something, but they haven't got any idea what to hunt for. So they keep anything out of the ordinary. Well, damaged coins are out of the ordinary, so that's what they keep. Here, you're missing some plating on this one. Nah, it just rotted away is all it is. Well, how do you learn? We got there's lists out there. I got a nice list on my blog of what to hunt for. But honestly, the list is so extensive. if we made a book of it, it would be, I don't know, 2,000 pages just for pennies. That's with small pictures. It'd be huge. Really, every date has something. Just about every date. I think, let's see, 1912, I don't think has any varieties to speak of. I'd have to look at my list. But the dates are, these lists are pretty good for learning. What do I look for on 1972? And you learn as you go. So the trick is not only rely on these other lists that you'll find, because lots of people have different lists of, oddities to hunt for, varieties and such. But every date has a potential for errors, because that's different from a variety. And keep notes. I mean, write it in this list. Write it down in your own notes. Or record it electronically. They got these. They got computers out there now you can make notes on. A 100-pound book. Yeah, it would be a big tome, a large thing. All three of what I wrote is all together. All three. I missed it, Joe. Thanks. Yup. Thanks. I bought them donuts. Okay. It all came in together. In 1972, I was 10 years old. In 1972, I was 5. It'd be another 5 years before I really got into collecting. Another couple years before I realized I can just go down to the freaking bank downtown, with my snow shoveling money. I go in with, $4 because I took out Mrs. Fenno's trash. Right. I got 50 cents or something for that and a cookie. Yeah, she used to make me cookies. I wasn't too worried about the 50 cents. The cookie made it worthwhile. Because Mrs. Minsky, I helped her, with her trash and painted her steps and mixed in sand so she didn't trip. She was always worried about breaking her hip. And I'd shovel her out and shovel her son out. She would pay me, but I guess the son paid her. All right, so I made good money on Mrs. Minsky. And Mrs. Fenner was a side job, but she passed away, that ungrateful bitch. So anyway, then I got a paper route. I made good money. That was like good money back then on the paper route. Sunday paper. Jeez, I was making $8. Then I got, figured out what the hell I was doing. I was making $10, $12. And I found out I could expand my route and get more people on my paper route. Oh, so I did that. But, I'm already walking by this house. Why not get them a paper? Here you go. Pick up another quarter. So I had the second biggest paper route in the state of Maine for the Maine Sunday Telegram. Yeah, and the guy comes up to me. The guy who drops off my papers, he's a route handler or something. He says, "Okay, good. What we're going to do is take your route. We're going to split it in two, and somebody else is going to take that other route." I said, "No, I built that fucking route. That's mine. Me, mine. You're not going to take my work and throw it the hell away and give it to somebody else who didn't build it." That was in that would that was mounting to be an injustice, and I let the guy have it. And I called the main Sunday Telegram down in Portland and complained, and they explained it to him. He's going to keep his route through high school. Once he's done, then you can split it up, and I get a scholarship out of it too. I think it was the complaining that got me the scholarship. It's about the $10 boxes of pennies I got from the teller, saved for me from a bank that's been closed for about 30 years. Oh, okay. Through here, so all the pennies in those boxes are 1982 and earlier. Well, shit. You probably got some shiners in the early 80s, 70s. It's not a bad batch. My mother passed away, and my sister, she had saved a lot of pennies. She had saved a lot of change. She had this tin full of change, and she was saving that for me. And my sister brought it down. And apparently she had filled it by 2001 because there was nothing after 2001. That was the delight going through. Lots of Canadian pennies in that. Of course, that's from, it was gathered in Maine. We get a lot of Canadians. That takes you back. So I take my snow shoveling and trash hauling and newspaper delivering money. I took it down to the bank. Right? I put in $4 over here and get 8 rolls of pennies. I'd sit on the curb. Freaking cold. It's Maine. Summertime was cold, for Christ's sakes. And I pick out all the wheat pennies. And go to the bank across the street. Right? Because they pay 55 cents for a roll of pennies. They needed the pennies. So I get my penny. I take in my pennies. I picked out a few cents. And I turn them in. I get nickels. Plus, I get enough cash back for all the wheat pennies I picked out of there. So good. Go back to the first bank after I picked through the nickels. Get some more pennies. I do this, all afternoon. Back and forth. Let's look at that. That looks like split plating below the E in particular. Yeah, that's a little split plating is all that is. That's where the copper plating has burst from the strike. So it kind of looks like a double die because, well, it's the image of the T that's burst the copper. Okay, no premium. Yeah, so I did that for a long time. And I had 18 wheat pennies, then 26 wheat pennies. I was counting, I had 52 wheat pennies. Then I hit the bank, and then I got 186 wheat pennies, 412. Stacking them, man, stacking them. I got one of them Whitman albums, one of the folders. I'm filling that up. I got all my 50s, all my 40s. I started getting some better ones. I get some 30s here and there. Some teens. Right, here's a 1910. Nickels, I was getting those. Didn't do much with dimes. Didn't do a thing with dimes. Nobody cares about dimes. Dimes are like dull. You collect dimes? What the hell for? Nobody collects dimes. Pennies and nickels, right? Buffaloes, Indian pennies, Mercury dimes. Sure, they're good. Nobody cares about Rosie. Poor Franklin's. He's like the unwanted. The redheaded stepchild of the coin collecting community. Poor fella. Yep. I had some bicentennial quarters. Well, I decided those weren't really worth much, so I'd take those downtown and spend them at the coin shop and get some wheat pennies to fill my folder. No, I come home with a 1932D, and I'm as happy as a pig in shit. There's one more. I went down there one time, spent $1.50. I come home with a really good shape 1909 VDB. Yeah, that's how much they were back then. $1. Those have gone up 10 times in 40 years. 10 times. So if it does that again in 40 more years, it'll be good for, 50 to $100 for a VDB. Ken, are you the one that posted an article of the 1955 double die penny from when somebody found the first one and what they are selling they? No, I'm going to guess you're talking about Ken Potter. He also uses the name. Apparently we have our mothers had a common love for the name Ken. Well, that was my mother's father's name. I don't know what Potter's story is. Selling for like $7 in the beginning, $2.80 in the 70s. Yeah, that's about right. Now they're good for, $1,500. Yep, you're going to find the tip-top coins always outperform everything else. All right, and that 55 double die number 1, that's going to be one of those performers. Your 69 double die, that's going to be a performer. The 72 double die, those were, Jesus, 75, 100, $150 back in the mid 80s. Now they're going $350. But the higher the coin, the more it's going to progress. Yep. Wheat pennies, I used to get a sack of 5,000 wheat pennies for 75 or $80, right? Then it was the same price with $7 shipping or some damn thing. I thought that was a robbery. But they were pretty good bags back then. And it saved me a trip to the store, to the bank all day. I just stay home and play with a whole sack of pennies. And what are you talking, a penny and a half? And now 3 cents is a low price. Like you see them on eBay going for $200, $250 for a sack of 5,000. And they've been picked over so freaking hard. It's nothing but coal. There's shit baggers in there. 40s and 50s, no steels, no shiners, right? No S-mints. You can still get some varieties in there. And sometimes you get those bags that are just picked clean. Well, what are they going to be like in another 40 years? They'll be going for 10 cents for wheat pennies. Maybe a quarter. Maybe all the pennies would be going for 10 cents and a quarter. But those $300 double dies, they'll be going for $3 grand. All right, those $1,500 1955 double dies they'll be going for 10 to 20 grand. And how does this bear out with other key dates and important varieties from the past? Yes, years ago, those were a fraction of what they're going for now. The population of these coins is not going up. The quality is not going up. The number of collectors and investors is going up. Some people are getting involved in coins just to speculate. Good night, good morning. selling $7 in the beginning. Yeah, those and then you get the opposites, right? The 1995s, when those came out, those are going for $1,500, and now they're selling for 30. They just kept finding more and more. But once you get the population is kind of stabilized, and the price is stabilized, and the magnificent coins really start to grow. Hey, I love the company, but I've been up for 2 days straight, so I must lay my head down for a short while. I'll take care. Okay, good night. Stay groovy. How many people in here watching? I can't see the statistics when I'm looking at the pennies. So make sure you smash a like before you go. So they tell you, when you buy a coin, get the best you can afford. Because if you're getting coins and you're going to hold on to them for 30, 40 years, right, that MS65 is going to offer more growth than that MS64. 21 people watching, it's 4:30 in the morning. Well, what the hell? This is when coin people do their thing. It's quiet, not a lot going on. It's a good time for it. So I say be picky. Get that coin that's better, than a regular VF. If you're going to buy uncirculated, get the best damn uncirculated you can find. Let's look at this one. Now it's a little die wear beside the E. Just kind of making it look stretched out. Because it takes a lifetime to put together these wonderful collections, these really magnificent collections. And they do it one coin at a time. That's just filthy. 7 likes. Hit that like button. There you go. That looks squished to you? Yeah. So if you're going to spend a lifetime putting together a set of pennies or nickels or silver dollars, wouldn't it make sense to invest, a year or two really studying that series? What makes that collection tick? Now, in the beginning, it's just, what can I pick out of pocket change that's worth more than nothing? And, well, I tell people, collect one of everything, so you got a reference. Pick up every date, every mint mark, the best one you can, real shining one. And they realize, these moderns, they're shiny, they're clean, they're not wore out at all. And they're worth about a penny. Okay. In the 80s, they're worth a penny or 2 or 5, but they're not as shiny, right? They start to show some wear on their head and face and ear. In the 70s, they're even harder. 60s, almost everything's brown. They're almost impossible to get it uncirculated. And then they start spending 25 cents, 50 cents, $1 for these dates, and they got a good one. Did I get the back of that? Well, put together the best that you can. That's part of the evolution of learning about what to collect and how to collect. And if you're into it, in a couple of years, you'll have a pretty substantial collection of Lincolns, right? In a couple of years of picking through pocket change, you can put together almost every memorial out there, all your shields, no problem. Maybe not the proofs unless you're spending some money, right? But you might have some. You might have some of the small and large dates for 82, right? Maybe the 60s. They might not all be uncirculated, but they'll be, better than crap. but you're learning the design. You're learning where to find information. You're learning what the hell to look for. And then you start getting into the buying. And you pick up, some BU wheats for $1 or $2 at a time. Right? Maybe get into setting up a Dansko album or something. Well, take the time to really study what the hell you're getting into. What are the key dates? What do you look for in particular that's going to make your coin stand out, stand above the pack? Right? Like those woodies. I keep saying it. And people are spending good money on woodies. And the more robust that wood grain is, color and contrast, yeah, I'm seeing those things are picking up real nice. I suspect those will be a good value in, 30, 40 years. Because they ain't going to change none. They're always going to be woodies. Ants here. What's wager? Oh, we don't play the gambling game here. Oh, woke with Ken. Sounds like local news. That's right. It's 24 past the hour. Dum, dum, dum. Dum, dum. Nothing there. All right, but when you get into it, right, you'll have probably your 50s, all shiners, right? A lot of your 40s, probably most of them, all shiners. You start getting into the 30s. Okay, a couple of days going to be kind of hard in high grade. 31S, right? The 32 and 33 P's and D's in high grade. I mean, really tight, uncirculated, no marks. Those are going to be tough. And you have a lot of your 20s, but you're still missing, a few of those super keys. 14D, 1909S, maybe the 24D, some of the early S mints. But by the time that's all you're looking for in high grade, you'll have a really good idea of what to pick out, what to hunt for, what color you're looking for, what grade you're looking for, what kind of value you're looking to pay, what kind of price, maybe some leads on where to get one. And you can put together a magnificent set. Really, a set in VF, wheat pennies. You're talking, plenty of detail on every coin. Maybe not the most sharp, but fully respectable for sure. $2,000, right? Really, in 5 years, what are you talking about? Let me pull up the calculator. Here's the screen. We'll pull up the calculator. So let's say you got 5 years, and you get $2,000. That's what it's going to cost. Let's see. Is that it? Here it is. Where's the spreadsheet? There it is. And a set of wheats in VF. Here you go. Every date. Can we see it? Let me look here. Yeah, you got every date over here from 09 to 58. Right, and really the 40s and 50s, they're not, they're not much. VF, the total for the set, $1,800. Can we see any of this? Let me make that bigger. Yeah, $1,800 to get the whole set in very fine. $3,100 would get you the whole set in XF, and about $5,000 in AU. And your big ones are going to be your 09S, your SVDB, right? 11S, 12S, 14D, which can actually, if you get into higher grades, can be more than the 09 SVDB. 24D, there it is. And that pesky 31S here somewhere. There he is. Yeah, you can get a 31S for $75 real easy. Yeah, okay, so if you're talking $1,800 bucks, 2 grand. So you get 2,000 bucks, divide by 5 years. It's $400 a year. 50 weeks, $8 a week. $8 a week. I spend more than that on smokes, and I got cheap smokes. Yeah, it's entirely affordable. But boy, that's a hell of a sense of accomplishment. When you put together a complete set of wheats, you have a major achievement. Not that many people have done it. There's only 60,000 SVDBs. It kind of limits the number of people can do that. And you got, what, 2 million people collecting wheat pennies? It is entirely affordable. Geez, if you want to go to the XF, you're talking 10 to 12 bucks a week. And now it's a better grade. Now you're into the big leagues on some of those. AU, 5 or 6 grand. What about 20 grand? I mean, what would 20 grand be? Let's go back to the screen. What the hell would 20 grand buy? Here we go. 20 grand would get you, let's see. 63 red brown. I got a couple missing here. Yeah, 20 grand would probably get you a 63 red brown collection of wheats. That ain't too bad. Now these not all be certified. You get into the 40s and 50s. Let me move this over just a moment. How do I do this? I gotta slip or this? No. Oh, here it is. It's over here. There. Okay, so 63 red brown. Drag that down a little. There we go. What are you talking? Yeah, you're talking, 50 cents or a buck on a lot of these 50s. So these are not certified examples. Where's your 43s? $5, $10, $6, $8, something like that for your 43s or steels. 5 to 10 bucks for your 30s. You get in some better dates here, and you're talking $20,000. Huh. So you got $20,000, and you do that over the course of 20 years. Is $1,000 a year divided by 50 weeks, 20 bucks a week. Start when you're 20. By the time you're 40, you got a set of coins that you can turn in, and you get a down payment on a house. Now, by turn in, I mean you've spent 20 years learning the routine and knowing enough people that you'll be able to sell those and get a pretty good market value for them. There it is. What about a floating roof? They have no value. None. Zero. I'll give you a link here. Here's a screen. There's my blog. I'm going to go to index of articles. And let's see, where's that floating roof? Right there, no FG and floating roof. Here it is, right? The FG is gone. It's an over-polished die is what it is. Right? You'll find it on 69, 70, 71. And you'll have no FG like you see here. And the roof, these little side pieces are polished off. That's all it is, over polishing. And they have no premium, none. Here's a 41, no FG. Here's a over the 71. That's what that is. There's a 72D. Okay. What has value on these is PCGS certified a few examples. I think they got like 7 or 8 of them. Here it is. Check your browser. There you go. So PCGS certified some and then decided, dude, these are so freaking common, let's stop certifying them. What the hell? So how many you got there? You got 1 in 66, you got 9 in 65, 13 in 64, 5 in 63. Yeah, that's it. All right, and that's in red. And these have a slight premium because PCGS no longer certifies these babies. All right, only these. You're not going to send yours in and get a certified because they don't it'll send it back in a body bag. You won't get the floating roof or the FG. There you go. See? Floater. We got a floater. There's no FG over here. It's just over polishing. So because they're not being certified anymore, those have some value. But the ones that you got to find in pocket change, yes, by all means, collect them and have one for your collection. They have more value to give to a new collector to get them into the hobby, right? Into the idea of varieties. There it is. And stuff to look for. Let's see, I lost my chat. But they don't have now. Oh, let me give you that link, by the way. Here it is. Copy. Where'd it go? And I'll paste it right here. There. That'll take you to my blog. You can read that up. Yeah, they may not be particularly easy to find, but you can get entire rolls of the darn things. And back to the scope there. Yeah, and get the best one you can find. Because what the hell? I need two, the 1909 SVDB and the 22 plain. Well, you know, the 22 plain is not really it's not an issue. It's a dye variety. That thing's just filled. It's a filled D. There's 4 dyes that will have that. Yeah, they ran those ragged back in the day. Got them from a guy for 6 cents a piece. Went through about 3,000. He had and didn't want them. Had all but them too. Jesus. That sounds like a good batch of pennies. You keep the roller lines. I wouldn't bother with those at all. Those are nobody's decided quite what the reason is on for those modern faux woodies. Yeah, Frank likes them older woodies. Yeah, 1962 was the last year with a tin. And the old style woodies are really streaky, grainy, freaky looking pieces, right? With fat and thin, variegated lines. All that tiger stripe, and those are the pieces. It wouldn't be polished off because it's set into the die. I think it's a master hub issue. I haven't actually in the database. I haven't studied the 22s enough. Here's my damn database. Can we see this? Yeah. Let me move that over. I got to make sure you can't see the link. All right. So where the hell's the 22s? Let's see. There we go. So yeah, I got a big orange carrot on that. So I got to study those. But there's 4 dyes. Let's move this over. Let's move this over. Hello, respond to me. There you go. Dye pair 1, weak reverse. Or weak D, no reverse. No D, weak D. I have to do my homework to nail down exactly what the diagnostics are for those. Yeah, I've been putting that off. Let's see. Scope. I gotta find the chat and get back to there. There it is. Okay. Keep on looking. But well, the 22D is the one to have, but the 22 plain would be, you know, a dye variety and wouldn't count as a straight collection. That would be an extended collection. But by all means, get that. Because those, man, those used to be 200 bucks. That was a lot of money. Man, 200 bucks for one of those? Yeah. Imagine if you'd have spent 2,000 bucks and got 10 of those. 30, 40 years ago. Well, you stick with it and you put together a collection of wheat pennies. Just a start. If you spend 5 years putting it together, you'll have a pretty decent collection in 5 years. I want to be proud of for sure. And you can always upgrade, replace them with all better. Yeah, 22-week D. They used to be $200. $95 for low grade. What you got there in your tie? Looks like it'd be a zinc blister. It's a good spot for it. The date's right. You got another one up there above the S. What are they running now? $800. Yup. See, the coins are a great way to stash cash. You got a few extra bucks, you can invest it into something and stick it in a safe or on a shelf, or hide it away for later. You go bankrupt, do not declare your coin collection. What do you, daft? The government doesn't know about this. It's not tracked unless you're getting certified coins. And they're tough to track. I mean, you can grab these things up and at a dealer table at a at a coin swap meet. The government doesn't know you have them. So they're not going to take it when you don't pay your taxes. Get a 22 with 3 die cracks in the reverse. Yeah, those dies were just terrifically wore out back in the day. If you need to, you take a few pennies, put them in your pocket, cross the border. What have you just done? You know what is it, $350 or thereabout, or is it $150? That penny is worth its weight in gold. And it's just a damn penny. Anybody at the customs, when they say empty your pockets, turn your head and cough. They look down in the box, they see your keys, a pack of smokes, and 14 cents in change. And it's nothing to them. It's transportable wealth. Of course, anything real expensive, I'd like to think you wouldn't have it just loose in your pocket with some other change. Yep, you pass away, you got an estate, make sure your kids know what these things are. I've been working with a guy for a while. He may have purchased some items from me, and he might have a binder explaining what these coins are. And his daughters might have sat down with me. I'm just saying, might, and been explained, how it works, how they can be sold, what these things are, what their value is, how to identify each coin based on the photo that's in the binder. Because when he goes, that safe disappears. So the kids get value without an estate tax. Works the same way with jewels, gems, right? Gold. The kids know where it is. Joe says, I've been updating mine with the coin reveals from Chuck, getting better from my book. That's absolutely right. 1 at a time, 2 at a time, 5 at a time. You'll get to a point you got to start paying $5 per coin, $10 per coin. There you go. And if you're paying attention and you listen to what these folks are saying, when you start dropping 30, 40, $50 per coin, you're going to be particular. You're going to be picky. You're going to start saying, okay, that coin is in the grade that you're saying. It's probably a little bit better than the grade you're saying, and that's a pretty good price. I'll take it. Or you'll be saying, I don't think it's quite as nice as you think it is, and the price is a little heavy. I think I'll pass this time. Thank you for your time. That's splotchy. Somebody drugged their finger across that one. So when it's time to spend the big money on the big coins, $100, $200, $500, you'll be able to get the right coin at the right price and not spend too much. I spent too much many, many times, man. But the longer I've been doing it, the less often I do that. Of course, you put the right coin in front of me, I'll pay whatever I need to if I'm going to have that coin. So experience is everything with this. We got a lot of new people. I'm poking around those Facebook groups, and there's so many new people have no idea what they have, what they're doing. They're going through these rolls, and they're picking out damaged coins, saying, "Ooh, I got something." And I advise them, go through another million pennies, so you can tell the difference between damage and something that's a real variety or a real error. Well, there's a learning curve to it, and there's plenty of stuff to study and learn. But if you don't study and learn and do your that's crap, and do the homework on your own, you're not going to learn. And so you'd be left still poking through these rolls, not finding anything because you still haven't learned what to look for. I was looking at one group. A guy had all these toners, and they're real pretty and all, blue and purple and orange and fiery colors and pinks and reds, but the demand for toners isn't really all that great. And they're circulated 70s. There's no real value in those. I mean, if you're going to spend the time, make it count for something. Learn something from the time that you're putting into poking through all these rolls. Right? Learn the whams. That's one of the easiest things. You'll get more value picking out whams, wide AMs on 3 dates than you will from all the wheat pennies in all the rolls that it takes to get that first wham. True story. What do you need to learn? You need a notebook, right? A 3-ring binder and $1.50 worth of paper and a pencil or a pen so it doesn't fade, and start taking notes. 1 page, 1 date. What to look for when you hear about something, write it down. You read about something, write it down. That's when you take the first step from poking through rolls and saying, oh, look, a wheat penny. Well, that's got a mark on its head. I better save that. That's when you make the change, the leap. From amateur to budding numismatist. Mike's here. How you doing, baby? Joe says, I'm a beginner. You've been around here a while. You're learning. Learning from your videos and from Chuck's too. Read a lot on Google. That's what Google's there for, so you can find stuff. Over on my blog, I got a key information website that can help you out too. Lincoln Cent Resources Grid. Chris Rhodes has a wonderful blog up there. Lots of good stuff up there. Just read the whole damn thing. It could use some work on indexing. I'll nag him about that. That's damaged. That's crudted. That's crudted. Don't look at the crudted coins. Ain't nothing there. Even if it's a variety, got crap all over it. It's probably not going to be worth a damn. But it's all about activity, how much time and effort you put into it. And it's not just the time and effort looking at pennies, looking at coins, but learning about them. That's the real value. We got these Facebook groups, and every third reply is, you should send that in to be graded. Yeah. Most of the coins you find in Pocket Change are not going to be worth sending in to be graded. Most, as in the next million pennies you look at, probably aren't going to be worth sending in to be graded. It'll take you 10 years to go through 1,000,000 pennies. And that's with a lot of work. You got to be psycho hardcore to go through 1,000,000 pennies in 10 years. You could do it. And out of all those, you probably won't find one that's worth submitting. If you did find one, you probably wouldn't find two. Yeah, I see these videos out there. You got channels that are clickbait. Oh, there's so darn many of them. And they say, look for this coin in your Pocket Change. It's worth $16,000. Yep. Well, how many coins have you heard about this year found in Pocket Change worth more than $100? I can name about two. So you get all those videos with all those coins for all that money, and I can name about two. Huh. That's funny. Chris Rhodes bought my 1999 Wham. Outstanding. That's a 99. Yeah, the 99s are tough. You can get 98s. 2000s are the easy ones. You might find a 2000, in 10 boxes. By the time you've gone through 20 boxes, you probably have found a 2000 Wham. 99s, they're few and far between. That'll probably be good for, 75 to 150 bucks. Just, they're tough to find. They're out there, though. And I think the 2000s and 98s are going for a song. Really, you can get them for 5 to 10 bucks. Right, circulated, kind of brown, kind of sloppy, $2 to $3 even. But if you were to put if you put slots in these folders, right? Let's see if I can get these out. Yeah. If you took one of those folders, the Whitman folders, and you had a slot in there for the Whams. Let's see, where's home? There's a face view. Let's see, let's look at this. Oh, these are the early dates. What you got? We got 22 plain? No. Okay, you wouldn't. Okay, that goes to 41. There. Look, you got a slot here. Where are you? For a 1909 SVDB, you got to put a $500 coin in a $3 holder, a $5 holder. Maybe not. But you see the later dates will have, the 1982s, large and small. Right, the 1960s, large and small. If you put the Wham listings in these, you'd see the price on those go to 20 bucks tomorrow. Really, I think the Whitman could do a lot of work in making those more popular just by including it. Yep. I think they could do a lot for the hobby and getting people involved in the variety aspect of it just by listing those three. You wouldn't have to have the 88s or the 92s, right? Definitely not the proofs. Put those three dates in there. They would shine light on that. Now, Paul says, hey, Joe, try to find the groups that aren't about selling. Like Ken says, they are far and wide in between. Well, you got the groups that are selling. A lot of them, they let anybody sell. And you always got some guy in there saying, boy, I got this beautiful penny. It's only $20. Okay. Well, it might be worth 20 if it was in better shape and wasn't bent, with a toenail stuck on it. And they got no reputation. They've been doing it for like a week. Takes a while to build a reputation. There's some more junkers in here. Let's get rid of some of these. All right, that's a start. Not even gonna bother with that one. But there's some good educational groups. Oh, let's see. What the hell? Here's a screen. There's Facebook. Let's see. So we've got the coin Q&A. Let's see what we can see. There it is. This goes with the TV, with the show we have every Thursday. But in this group, this is not for, hey man, what is my filthy coin worth? This is Coin Collecting 201. You're expected to do your homework in this group, right? If all you want to know is what your filthy coin is worth, we can't be bothered with you. If you need to know what the difference between a large and a small date on a 1982, you haven't done the homework enough to get involved in this group. So move along, get some experience, and then we'll add you in later. And we got, let's see, this is the YouTuber coin community group, and this is for videos, right? But they still get in there and ask about their coins, and we kind of answer. But this, if you have a video, if you have a show, you got something going on YouTube, or you're looking for something on YouTube, this is for the YouTube and coins. Then you got, let's see, what else you got? Coin roll hunting and currency collecting. This is pretty popular. You got 13,000 people in there. Chris Rhodes will moderate in there. Fairly good group, and you'll get some straight answers, right? Here's a guy who's got a lamination error. Says, how much is it worth? Okay, well, I guess somebody answered 50 bucks. He said it was 50 bucks, and I said, a couple of bucks. Okay, and we get everything in this group, from what's my coin worth, what's a small date, what do you think of these? And you got people that can't tell the difference between damage, and an actual mint error, like this lamination or this lamination. You get 2 out of 5 here are errors with the lamination, and 3 are just frigged. This one was cut down probably dime size so they can make a phone call with it. Yep. What you got here? Okay, show and tell. You get it all. So that's a decent one. What else you got? Coin roll hunting, CFA, coins for amateurs, and you get everything in there. Let's see, Jimmy's Coin Shop. This is a simpler group. This is a lot less experienced people in here, and a lot of it is people who don't know what they have, but they're convinced it's worth something, fabulous. Look at my fabulous coin. This is going to be worth a fortune. How much is it worth? Nothing. You're lying. They get upset. Joe Cronin's mint errors. That's a good spot to learn. That's a really good spot there. Let's see. The RPM sales group and the RPM group, which is like the RPM sales group, but this is for sales. Here's the RPM group, and just for RPMs, repunch mint marks. Yep. Is this a D over D, or look at my thing? Here's a neat one. Who got this? Art Ring just picked out two 1970 RPMs. There it is. That's what the hell they look like. Looks like an S on top of an S. Yup. All right. Lincoln Cent auctions. Nope, that's not it. Where'd it go? Stop. Geez, I click, and during the time it takes to depress the mouse button, something gets in the way, and I click on something else. Fans of Lincoln Cents. Let's see. Here's a neat group. Collectible pennies and penny errors, buy, sell, trade, and auction. These people need so much help. This is a starter group. This is for people that can't tell the difference between a beat-up parking lot coin and something worth more than face value. No, they don't have it. They cannot figure it out. I got this coin. What happened to it? How long you get it? How long? How much time do you need to spend talking about road rash? Okay, this is why you're not going to bring this into the coin Q&A, and you're expected to have some experience here. But the collectible pennies group, yeah, this is for newbies right there, I tell you. But there's all kinds of groups out there. It's only got one hole in it. How much is that worth? Nothing. They don't quite understand that damage destroys value. And they're asking, how do I clean this? How do I clean this coin without ruining the value? Huh? So you want to use, let me get this right. You want to use blue paint on your garage, but you don't want to change it from its current white color. Is that what you're saying? You can't reach through and shake them. If you could, I'd be in prison. Paul, you're right. In the beginning, that's all I was in. Now more learning and asking questions. Only a couple of selling just to see what they're selling. Oh yeah, by all means, get involved in these groups because you'll see the stuff that comes by. And over time, you'll pick up the experience and the wisdom to be able to tell who's really putting out good information and who's just, which groups are full of shit. And yeah, it's night and day out there. Some of the groups are well moderated. Some of them are left to Facebook to moderate for them or something. And it's anything can happen day. Oh, excuse me. There, I gotta set that one free. Use an SOS pad so you get all the crap off that penny. That's right. Sometimes the best thing you can tell them is, dude, just clean it with soap and water and get in there and scrub it real good and let them learn the hard way. A lot of times the only way people will learn is the hard way. So explain it to them. Here's what you do, right? You soak it in ketchup. You get a toothbrush that they're not going to use unless you like ketchup, and you just scrub it real good, right? And that'll be a clean penny. And when they try to sell it and somebody says, this is fucking shit, then maybe they'll learn. Maybe they got to try it 20, 30 times to really learn. But that's what it takes. Some people will only learn the hard way. And wind them up and let them go and set them free. At least give them advice so they're not, endangering themselves and their family. Don't tell them use gasoline. Don't tell them that much. Because they will. And they'll be smoking a cigarette while they're scrubbing their penny with gasoline. It's my coin. I will do what I want with it. Yup. There's a stubborn streak to it. Put it on Etsy for 20,000 bucks if you think you can get that, and you think that there's no problem with ethics, right, in selling bullshit for exorbitant amounts and hunting for suckers. We got all kinds of them out there, man. I'm retired and on disability. I was bored one day and started this about 5 years ago. That's why I got into this. And man, from day one till now, my frothing, you get the rabies thing going on, you are going to make it. I'm a pro and not even close. You'll get there, man. There's a lot to this, really. Just figuring out what to hunt for can take you, years. But geez, if you really get in there and study hard, what we're doing over in the SAN database is we're trying to put together a curriculum, and this is going to be, a few years out. So you can get in there and really have like a class with a curriculum and coursework or units, have a structured learning plan, and make it a whole lot easier to learn what's in all these things. What is it with these coins? It's needed. Yeah, sometimes you got to close face a book and walk away because it'll drive you nuts. Yep. There's folks in there, they don't know what's going on, but they're convinced because somebody they believe in or have faith in, or who they respect or trust said, that coin's valuable. Maybe it was vague or general, but they believed it. And you can't tell them otherwise, because if they were to change that opinion, it would destroy the faith that they place in that other person. Well, we didn't want to do that either. Maybe it was a grandmother or somebody they knew or somebody special. Okay. But that don't make that coin worth 50,000 bucks. That don't mean they have a new discovery. That don't mean it's special or rare or valuable or needs to be published somewhere. Or let's take a picture of you with a president. He's going to give you a medal. You found that penny, here's your medal. Yeah. What you got there, Mr. O? You got some split plating on the O. All right. What are we looking for split plating? See, all of these things we talk about have particular diagnostic features. There will be evidence on the coin to help you identify what is going on. So we look at that bit of, well, kind of looks like doubling under the O in one. So you got your regular O. See the shadow line? Goes from this shadow line to that shadow line. That's the regular O, the normal O. Then you have this bright section, which is copper in color. Okay? And if you look at the lower shadow line, it's not very tall. See the big shadow line? It's a big raise. It's a big step up. A little shadow line, it's a little step up. And then you got gray. That's zinc. Okay, so I have a plate. The plating of copper has split to expose the zinc. It is split plate doubling. And it's very common. We've seen 5 of them so far tonight. No premium. Steve says, I'm not retired yet. Close. I'm doing the same thing. Not selling, just building collections for your grandkids. Yeah. The real value in the hobby is not in the coins. It's spending the time with the family, with the kids, with friends, with people that you get along with, that you understand, who are, on the same page as you. And every now and then, here's some really cool penny. Maybe it's worth, 20 bucks or 50 bucks or 100 bucks or 1,000 bucks. Ooh, doggy. There is split plating here. But if you can teach somebody young, you know, I've been saying, uh, if you want your coins to be worth more in the future, grow the hobby, get those young people involved. But what I'm finding out lately on my channel in particular, it's not, I don't have that many kids watching. I got grumpy old guys like me watching. See that D? Split plating. Again. So, really, let's teach the teachers, because these people that are watching me, yeah, they got grandchildren. And those grandchildren will need to understand what's going on in these coins. Look at that. See that? That zinc showing. Beg your pardon, ma'am, but your zinc is showing. This is split plate doubling. So if we can teach the folks who are watching how to teach their kids, their grandkids, to identify these coins and what to look for, right? And, you know, to hunt for the evidence that's on that coin. Then we really get the word out. Yaha. But a lot of people, you know, they get involved in the hobby when they're young. Maybe because their grandfather gave them something really cool. I get involved because my grandmother had a can of buttons. Seriously, we're looking for a blue button because she needed to fix her blouse. That's back in the day when, you know, half the shirts out there were blouses and the other half were shirts. Okay, men's shirts, ladies' blouses. Okay, but life gets in the way. You get married, you go to college, you graduate high school, you move out, you get a job, you get kicked around by life for a while, and, you know, later on in your 40s or 50s, you get back into it. That's what I got in this channel showing up. Because they're looking to, you know, what am I looking for? They're looking for facts, for information, for, you know, teach. They're looking for it. And, well, I try to fill that void. My desk is looking like yours. Here's my desk. Look, there's me. There's my desk. Yeah. That's just, oh, what's that candy? Oh, some root beer. Those are like 2 years old. Yeah. I could work on my organization methods. Right now it's put it on top. That's how I organize. Just get it out of the way, put it on top, and it's out of the way. Problem solved. Yeah, I could look for longer term solutions. So if you want to teach these kids what to look for, how would you do it? What would you want to have at your disposal? You know, a lot of people, they take pictures of their desk, and you're going to see coins, you're going to see tools, you're going to see supplies, and you're going to see information resources, books, magazines, computers. Those are the common, and some containers, be they, you know, pill bottles or squeeze jugs or Ziploc bags or whatever the hell. And of course, plenty of coins. Those are the common things. Sometimes a beer, sometimes a cup of coffee, some candy, a cat, whatever the hell. But the key, in my opinion, to the whole thing, making the whole thing work, is that information resource, be it a book or the internet. That's the key to it all. You want to teach the kids? You need a textbook to work with. And honestly, I can't think of anything better than your own notes. You're going to know your own notes inside and out. You might not read the book. You might glance through their website you know, hunting down that particular bit of information you want about a particular date. But if you got your own notes, you have written them, you created them, you'll know them like the back of your hand. Have we found anything in the past hour? This bag sucks. Maybe I've gone through it already. There, I'll set that up for a bit. This has to go. I'm going to blow my nose, so bear with me just a moment. Let me get off camera. There we go. Yep, marriage and a couple of kids put a hobby on pause. And then, by the time you get back in your 40s or 50s, you can afford, you know, $10 a week, $20 a week. You can afford, geez, I'd like to have that coin, and it's $50. You can afford that. It's tough when you're 12 years old to come up with $50 for a coin. I don't know, these kids seem to do it nowadays. Back in the day, you know, 20 bucks, that was good money for you know, a paper route. Geez, I could eat hamburgers all week long. That's most of what it went to. Let's go to McDonald's on the way home, you know, while walking in. Get a chess set, get a bike, telescope, coins, that sort of thing. Almost done with state and parks folders. See, the next step is the varieties on those state and park quarters, right? You get that, the sneezing horse. You get that extra bear claw. You start getting into some of the simple varieties that are kind of neat to find. Shay Hoffmaster found a couple of those San Antonio quarters with a little bit of doubling in the center. Kind of neat to look for. And so you take the regular coins and now you add more to that collection. And you can find those in pocket change, and they don't really bring much premium. But you give them the practice and starting to identify these things. Let's look at this. This is machine doubling on the bottom of the E and the bottom of the T. That's machine doubling. Seems to have missed the N. Maybe a little bit on the left side there. Okay, no premium there, ever. And there's people who collect, I only collect machine doubling coins. Geez, if you're going to put in the time and effort, wouldn't it be nice to save coins that are worth a little more than face value instead of getting nothing for it? Well, add some zinc blisters, some linear plate bubbles. Ooh, let's look at this. I'm going to press that with this here toothpick, and let's see what happens. Let's look at the one in the middle. You see the shape? I can't even see this. I'm going to try to press that and see if it deforms. Let's try something a little harder. Here you go. The top of this key might. Where'd it go? What happens if I press that with? I'll roll it because this is rounded. Where'd it go? There. I flattened it. I flattened that thing out. There it is. It's a bubble. Ta-da! The hollow. You don't think the Parks collection will ever end? We got another year on the Parks collection. That's going through 2021. Is that right? Yeah, 11 years. So the other set, the states ended in 2009. They went from 99 to 08, right? 5 a year, 10 years, 50 states. Then you got the DC and territories for 99. Okay, 11 years total. So they started in 2010. 10 years gets them 10. Yeah, this should be the. They got stuff planned for next year. I don't know what the. Well, see, it's not the 50 states. It's however many national parks. Then what are they doing? They're going back to the Eagle. They're going to put something else on there. How about car models? Famous American singers. I don't know. You get the Dolly Parton quarter? Maybe that's coming. Who knows? Maybe they'll change their minds and just do something different. Maybe they'll get rid of this hard thing. Alrighty. Well, I got to tell you, I'm wearing out. I've been going for a couple hours here. Look, a D. We don't get many D's over here in Florida. Too bad this one's junk. Yeah. Yup. Well, if you're going to learn so you can spend some good quality time with the grandchildren and teach them something, and I recommend going deep. Go further. Take it to the next level, right? Start taking more notes, better notes. Study up on this stuff so you can tell them what the difference is between a large and small date for, 1974. Or you say no, or so you know what a wham looks like and can identify it correctly. Geez, if you spent 2 hours on the wide AMs, you'd figure it out. If you spent 20 minutes researching the 1982 large and small dates, P and D, copper and zinc, you'd figure out what the hell all that fuss is about. And you'll say, I ain't hunting for them no more. Dolly Parton on the new bus quarters. It's going to have to be twice as big as the old quarters. One for each bust. Maybe they'll do a side view. And of course, it'll be like a bar instead of a round. Oh, yeah, it will definitely help keep a person busy. Let me follow Mike White up here. LOL. I don't think the Parks collection will ever end. Keep a person busy. Yes. I need the extra leaf quarter. Ooh, yeah, you get the high leaf and the low leaf. I think it's the Wisconsin. Wisconsin cheese. You get the cow, the block of cheese, and they got corn in there because the corn feeds the cow, and the cow makes the cheese. And then the cheese grows corn. It's like a cycle. Other countries' mints have cool coins compared to ours. They have some nice coins, I think, and they do. Not as many collectors of foreign coins. The foreign silver is really making leaps and bounds into the hobby. '82 small day copper. Good luck. Here's one that'll shake you. I was talking with Ken Potter a couple of days ago about transitional design varieties, right? And we got into talking about the 2009 coppers, right? On the satin and proof issues in 2009. Not the business strikes, but the satins and the proofs. Those were done in 3.11 gram, 95% copper. Huh. Now, in 1982, they switched from 3.11 gram, 95% copper, over to the zincs. And they found a couple that weren't supposed to be, in the zinc in 1983. And those are good for, crazy, crazy money. And you got those 1982 small date coppers from Denver. 2 have been found, and they trade in, $18,000, $20,000 range. Pretty good money. Well, it's happened before. 1943, you got some steels that were made on copper. You got some 1944s. They were supposed to be copper made on steels. Wouldn't it follow that yet again we can expect some transitional varieties in 2010? right? How did these things happen? The odd planchet fell out, got stuck somewhere, maybe in a hopper, maybe in a, I don't know, belt, maybe stuck in machinery. And later on, when they're working on the machinery, they got some extra planchets in there and just, put them back into the cycle. So we've seen it before, right? We see 1965 quarters struck on silver, right? We see 1972 half dollars struck on 40% silver. We got the 1983s on copper. There should be, perhaps, using this logic, some 2010s struck on 95% copper. What would be the easy place to look? Well, there is a little difference because those were done on satin finish on the mint sets. So those would have been segregated hoppers. Those would have been a separate segregated production. But every now and then, stuff falls out of the machinery. Right around the press is a great spot for it. And San Francisco, geez, they only made, what, 1.5 million proof strikes in San Francisco in 2010. I bet you that would be the place to hunt, because you wouldn't have to go through 4 billion pennies over at Philly and Denver. So I was talking to Ken Potter. He's got like 600 2010 proof sets. So we're talking about, can you weigh up the whole proof set and see if it's heavier? But you got, 4 other coins in there too, and they all have a variance, so it would exceed the weight difference in the penny. So what if you picked up a few rolls of 2010s proofs and weighed them up? And what if you found a 2010s proof that weighed 3.11? What would that be worth? Because looking at history, those 43s are worth, 7 digits. The 44s are worth 5 digits. Those 82s are worth 5 digits. Yeah, 2010, 3.11s. Every other time there was a transition, we had it. Paul, good night to you. You stay groovy, okay? Yep, I think I'm going to follow you out. I've been going for a while. We didn't find much. A couple of cracks. What did we find? That one. The hell was that? A crack. Yeah. Fairly uneventful night. Sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes the bear eats you. The value in this tonight's hunt was in talking with you guys. Well, the value was in talking to myself, because I'm here all alone. I ran into a buddy at work, from work, years ago. He says, "What are you doing nowadays?" I said, "I just hang around the house and talk to myself. There's nobody here." Oh, I can't show you on that camera. I'm all alone here. Is it true there's a 1990? I don't know. Let me look. That would be an error, so it wouldn't be in a variety list. Let's see. I'm just going to look anyway. 1990? Well, there was nothing in 1989 produced in 3.11 grams, so the chances of, something hanging out from 1982 is pretty slim. Okay, let's see. That's what I want, that column. Nothing on this list, but this is a list of varieties. Yeah. It may be true, but I've got no evidence to support that idea. I've lost the chat. There it is. 33 watching? Huh. Alrighty. Well, we've been talking for a couple hours. 14 likes. Well, hit the thumbs up. Watch some more videos. Click on my name and go to the playlist and watch some coin classes. Right? Go out and get yourself a 3-ring binder and some notebook paper and fill it, and have one page for every date. Get another binder for nickels, and keep your own notes. So when you spend time with the grandkids, you can really impress them with your knowledge. Alrighty, I'm going to take off, guys.